An East Tennessee preacher is headed to prison after admittedly operating fraudulent investment ventures.
Yeah, it's estimated Roger Williams cost investors more than $1 million in what the government is calling a Ponzi scheme. WATE-TV 6 on your side investigator Don Dare first told you about Williams in the summer of 2014. Don was in court today. He joins us now live from the federal courthouse in downtown Knoxville. Don?
Well, Ryan, the procedures here at the U.S. courthouse took about 90 minutes today, but all of the heavy lifting had been done over the last 2 years by postal inspectors and IRS investigators. When we first encountered Roger Williams and talked with some of his investors, we came across some financial schemes that just didn't look right. Roger Williams, a preacher at a church near Gatlinburg for 11 years, had also been the sole operator of investment ventures for 15 years. In Knoxville today, he walked into federal court after agreeing to plead guilty to money laundering, mail fraud, and obstruction of federal taxes. He also agreed to 51 months in prison for failing to properly invest clients' money into ventures he operated.
I believe in my heart that he's got money somewhere. He is not stupid.
Jimmy Vineyard told us in July 2014 he had put money into Williams' Dash Holdings and Open Door Investment. With a lure of 15% growth yearly promised by Williams, Mr. Vineyard had over $400,000 invested in the ventures. But when his wife Ellen became ill and just before she died, Jimmy went to Roger Williams needing money for her care, but was told there wasn't any to withdraw. All your life savings and hers.
All of hers and my life, that's exactly right. Hers and mine. Ours
is gone.
It's gone.
Jimmy Vineyard never got his money. Judy and Gerald Perkins had invested close to $150,000 with Williams. For several years, they received monthly checks drawn in their investment that paid their mortgage. But in July 2014, Williams wrote the couple saying he is going out of business and they will no longer get any checks.
It's our money. My husband worked for that, and it was his retirement.
We also found reports sent by Williams to clients that said there would be a moratorium on dividends because their money was being invested in another business, which the government now says was fraudulent. We confronted Williams 2 years ago and asked about customers like Mr. Vineyard and the Perkins.
The franchise investment that we had with them has been dried up.
But you were their investor.
Well, I was one of the managers.
Our investigation found that under federal regulations, Williams should have been a registered broker, but records show he didn't follow the rules. David Lewis, one of the area's top investment professionals, says the ventures Williams operated had no independent party looking over his shoulder as required.
Ponzi schemes and most scams have involved a situation where the person selling the investment basically said, give me the money, I'll take care of everything.
The government's investigation says Williams issued false IRS forms, committed money laundering by unlawfully transferring financial transactions, and mail fraud by sending false reports about investments. With no more monthly checks from Williams, the Perkins had to sell their home in May 2015. Jimmy Vineyard lost the most money to Williams' fraudulent schemes, but Mr. Vineyard died in March of this year and rests beside his wife, Ellen. Mr. Williams, he gave no apology today to the people he cheated or explain where he went wrong.
What did you do with their money?
He'll begin serving his time in federal prison next March. And we learned that just last Wednesday, Roger Williams stepped down from the pulpit at his church in Gatlinburg. He's no longer the preacher there, and the building was sold last month. Reporting live in downtown Knoxville, Don Dare, WATE 6 on your side.